All right, you've been putting off doing that lower ball joint because you didn't have the right tools. Now this happened. Well, did you ever think of replacing the whole lower control arm? Here we have some ball joints and some control arms. If you need any of these parts or other parts for your vehicle, make sure you click the link in the description and head over to 1aauto.com. Here we have a cutaway of a ball joint, and you can see how it works. It can move around in many directions. And in between the two metals, you're going to have a composite material or a nylon that's going to prevent the metal from scraping on and wearing the ball joint out faster. Over time, that composite material will break down, and there's going to be looseness in here, and the ball and socket can actually pop out. And here we have a couple different ball joints. We have a press-in style ball joint where you require special tools, or a bolt-in style, which still requires special tools to remove it. And there's another option. You can buy a whole control arm that has the ball joint in it, just like this one. This one has it riveted in, and it has the new bushings on the sides. Or you have the pressed in type ball joint like this control arm. It already has it pressed in, and you have new bushings on the back side. Some of the major advantages of replacing the whole control arm is the bushings in the back. Over time, these wear out, and you might have just put a new ball joint on, and over time, you're going to need new bushings anyway, so you just wasted your time. It's easier to do the whole thing. And when you're replacing these rivet style ball joints or even the press-in style, you're going to need special tools. When you're replacing the control arm as a whole, you're going to need some basic tools that are in every DIYer's toolbox, such as sockets, ratchet, side cutters, some wrenches, pry bar, a 1/2-inch impact gun, and also a torque wrench. But when you're replacing just the ball joint, you're going to need all these tools plus all of these specialty tools. You may need a ball joint press with adapters, some snap ring pliers, and you're going to need to make sure you have the right size snap ring pliers, so you're going to need many different sizes, a grinder, an air chisel, and also a drill. If you're going to do a press-in style ball joint like this one, you're going to need some snap ring pliers. Take the snap ring off. Be careful. As far as getting the ball joint out, you do not want to heat up the lower control arm to expand the metal. You're going to compromise the structural integrity of the lower control arm, and also heating up the grease could cause it to expand and explode. I have seen grease actually blow up in people's faces. It's not a good idea, so don't heat anything up. One way of getting it out is using a hammer. You could support the lower control arm with a floor jack or a jack stand and hammer it out, but the problem is when you go to put the new ball joint in, you're not going to be able to hammer it back in, so that's not really going to work for you. If you're going to use one of these tools, the ball joint press, you want to make sure you get the right adapters. Not all ball joint presses have the correct adapters, and the adapter kits get pretty expensive. If you line this up, just like this, it's a little bit lunky. And you want to press that out, and that's only going to press it so far, and then you may even have to use a hammer to get it the rest of the way out. If you have a lower control arm that's aluminum, you really don't want to replace the ball joints. The new ball joints never fit in there correctly, and it's just not a good idea. So you want to replace it if it's an aluminum control arm. Replacing the ball joint alone, although it's not impossible, it is a lot trickier and you need those special tools to do the job. And eventually we would have had to replace the control arm anyway because of the bushings popping out. You can always replace just the bushings, but judging by the rust in the control arm, there's not a lot of material left on this anyway. So if you need control arms or other parts for your vehicle, make sure you click the link in the description, head over to 1aauto.com, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Ring the bell, turn on all notifications so don't miss any of our videos. Did you ever all right, I forgot what I was saying. Here we have a couple examples of a couple different